Welcome to today's class. You have already studied in my previous lecture something related to the basics of nucleus and various types of, combinations we have seen like isotope, isobar, isotone, etc., where either atomic numbers are equal or mass numbers are equal or total number of neutrons are equal. That we have already studied in our previous lecture. Now, what is the thing that we have to study today itself? Today itself is that how the mass of the nucleus is studied. You know, it is so tiny, even the atom itself is so small that we cannot see it in free's eye. We cannot see it in ordinary, just like an ordinary object. And therefore, we have to have a certain specific unit system for measuring the mass of nucleons, mass of different nuclei also, and also we have to measure it with the same very unit mass of different atoms. They are called simply atomic mass unit. What is atomic mass unit? It is actually it measures 1/12th part of the actual mass of a carbon-12 atom. You know as well that carbon may have different isotopes, one carbon-12, other is carbon-14. We have not to take carbon-14 because carbon-14 is radioactive. We have to take only the ordinary carbon atom, that is carbon-12 atom. 1/12th of the mass of carbon-12 atom is called an atomic mass unit. It is in short we write it by AMU. It is not capital AMU, that is Aligarh Muslim University, no. It is just small AMU, okay. And that is why what we call atomic mass unit. Let us take one atomic mass unit is 1/12th part of the actual mass of carbon atom. We know that in 1 mole of carbon, 12, you know what is 1 mole? That means 1 gram mole, 1 gram atom, okay, of carbon. The total number of atoms will be equal to Avogadro number, that is 6.02 into 10 to the power 23. Since 12 gram of carbon atom consists of this, that is 1 mole. 1 mole or 12 gram of carbon atom consists of this much of carbon atoms. Therefore, the mass of 1 atom of carbon-12 will be equal to this 12 gram upon 6.02 into 10 to the power 23. And therefore, 1 AMU will automatically be equal to 1 upon 12 times of 12 upon 6.02 into this. 12 get cancelled. We are left with 1 upon 6.02 into 10 to the power 23. Ultimately, we get 1.66 into 10 to the power minus 24 gram. If it is converted into kg, we get 1.66 into 10 to the power 27 kg. This is 10 to the power 27 minus 27 kg. This is all about the direct relation between the SI system and atomic mass unit. You know, kg is taken in SI system of mass, and AMU is taken in the specific category of measurement of masses of nuclei, measurement of masses of nucleons, measurement of the masses of atoms that we consider. Now, when we consider such a small thing, then if we want to correlate between this as well as energy, what is the equivalent energy equivalent of the same EMU, that we have to take. Okay, in the next phase of the same thing, we take the energy equivalence of EMU, equivalence of EMU. According to Einstein's theory, E equal to mc square. Okay, we know that E equal to mc square. That is, whatever thing has some mass, the same thing is corresponding to some energy also. And if something is considered to have some energy, we can correlate it with some mass also. That is, mass and energy, they are interconvertible. That is, one can be converted into other. And suppose we have mass of this equal to 1 AMU, and therefore we can just assume that energy equivalence of this must be equal to this is 1 EMU and C square. 1 EMU is 1.66 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg and 3 into 10 to the power 8 whole square. If we multiply them, then 1.66 into 10 to the power minus 27 into this must be 9 into 10 to the power 16 and this is equal to joule. This must be in joule. Okay. Now once this is in joule, we have to convert this into electron volt. How we convert this into electron volt, you know it well that we have to divide it by the electronic mass. 1.66 into 9 into 10 to the power minus 11 whole divided by 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 electron volt. That means what we have, we can very easily observe that ultimately we may take it is 1.66 into 9 upon 1.6 into 10 to the power plus 8. It is plus 8 electron volt. We can just take it as 166 into 9 upon 1.6 into 10 to the power 6 electron volt. That comes out to be 931 into 10 to the power 6 electron volt. That is 931 million electron volt. 1 EMU, that is the energy equivalence of EMU equal to 931 into 10 to the power 931 million electron volt. This is how we just say that even the atomic mass unit can be represented in energy unit. Here we have this much. अगर मैंने कहीं पर बता दिया कि इसका मास है 2 EMU, that means we can very easily say 2 into 931 million electron volt will be corresponding energy of that particular nucleon or atom, whatever we have. That is why we are having the mass energy equivalence of EMU. After this, we have to see what is the size and density of nucleus, because in the present lecture we have to discuss only the size and the density of the unit system. In the next lecture, we will discuss definitely the nuclear forces, the nature of nuclear forces, and also we see that how we have the mass defect terms, or what we call binding energy of nucleus, and there we have the binding energy curve also, and they are very important to learn something related to nuclear fission and fusion. Because you know, for your information, I must let you know one thing, that from this year, at least for this year, something has been deducted from your chapter, that is, there is no scope for radioactivity, there is no scope for individual alpha, beta, gamma properties, there is no scope for half-life period, average period, etc. Therefore, we have to entirely discard the term radioactivity here in the nuclear physics chapter. Therefore, whatever we have to discuss, we have to divide our lectures accordingly. That is, we must study nuclear fission fusion. That could be studied only once we discuss the binding energy curve, and there we have to discuss mass defect as well. All those things will be discussed only in our other future lectures. But in the present lecture, let us study something related to the nucleus size and the density. Although you know that according to Rutherford's alpha scattering experiments, there has been some rough idea about the position of a nucleus, and it is stated that it is in fact the center core or the massive part of atom. Massive does not mean, I am again repeating, it does not mean huge, but it is just means small but strong part of the atom, okay? And that consists of positive charge, and it is surrounded by electron cloud, etc. I am not going to discuss all this again and again, but the main thing is that there has not been any well-defined boundary of nucleus. We cannot say that from here nucleus starts. From up to this, it is the area, it is the boundary of nucleus. We cannot say. But even then, it is estimated that it may be considered to be spherically symmetric. That it may be considered just like a sphere of certain radius. And in that part, again by means of other scattering, not the scattering by Rutherford, but by other different scattering experiment by scattering of protons, scattering of neutrons, etc. It has been found that the size of nucleus, the volume of nucleus is directly proportional to the mass number of a particular atom. When we consider any particular atom, then we see that it must have some mass number as well as atomic number. And here we have to discuss that by means of various experiments, it has been established that the volume of the nucleus is proportional to, is directly proportional to the mass number that we are having. That is, the volume of nucleus is directly proportional to the mass number. That is, V is proportional to A. As we have said, it is spherically symmetric, and therefore it must have certain volume 4/3 pi r cube, and that is proportional to A, or in general R is proportional to A to the power 1/3. There must be some constant of proportionality. We write it R equal to R naught A to the power 1/3. This is the relation for the radius of nucleus, and where R naught is called average nucleon size. Remember, it is average nucleon size, and nuclear unit volume. It is also called as nuclear unit radius. Either we call it as nuclear unit radius, or just we call it as average nucleon size. एक न्यूक्लियन साइज की बात कर रहे हैं और एक क्या कर रहे हैं, एवरेज न्यूक्लियर यूनिट रेडियस. तो ये न्यूक्लियर का यूनिट रेडियस जो है उसको R0 से हम देखते हैं. इसको 1.2 फर्मी होता है, 1.2 इंटू 10⁻⁻15 m, और ये फेम्टोमीटर और फर्मी 1.2 फर्मी. It is the order of the nucleus, and in that way we have seen that the size of the nucleus is taken to be in Fermi order, in the order of Fermi, whereas the size of the atom was discovered as it is of order of Angstrom, 10⁻⁻10, and this is the gap between the two. Angstrom is atom is little bit larger, much larger. It is around 10⁵ times larger, because there we have its radius around 10⁻⁻15, -10 meter, and here it is of order 10⁻⁻15 meter. And after this we have to discuss how we find out the next thing, that is density of the nucleus. Like other mechanical system, density of anything is always equal to mass upon volume. And when we call the mass of, we have to find out the density of nucleus. We have to take the average mass of nucleus divided by its volume. Okay. Now, when we say that the average size of average mass of nucleus, how we determine? First, we have to know that the average mass of nucleus means. First, we have to find out the average mass of a nucleon. You know that the nucleus consists of nucleons, neutron and proton. Then उनका average mass हम लोग निकाल लेते और उसको multiply करते किससे, वॉल्यूम से. That is उनको multiply करते आपका atomic mass number से, that is mass number से multiply करते हैं. Why? Because mass number gives the total number of nucleons. एक न्यूक्लियन का मास अगर मुझे मालूम है और टोटल नंबर ऑफ न्यूक्लियन मालूम है, then we can very easily find out the total mass of the nucleus. Therefore, how we determine total mass of nucleus? I am again repeating, total mass of nucleus can be the product of average mass of a nucleon into the mass number of that particular nucleus. Okay, this is how we determine the it is the rho m means mass upon volume. It is the mass number upon volume, mass of nucleus upon volume. And now if you see that m is the average mass of a nucleon, then mass of nucleus will be equal to m into a. What is a? A is the mass number, where a is the mass number. Mass number. Okay, you know that mass number gives the total number of nucleons. That means total mass of their nucleus. Okay, m into a divided by volume of the nucleus, 4 by 3 pi r cube, and we know r equal to r naught into a to the power 1 by 3. तो उसको इसमें रखेंगे तो 1 by 2 a to the power 1 by 3 whole 3 means just a get cancelled, and ultimately we are left with just 3 by 4 pi m upon RO3. And we know what is RO3. RO is the we have already said it is the average size of nucleon in previous part we have just discussed, and it's equal to 1.2 femtometer or fermi, and that we are placing that value of pi is 3.14, and we are having this thing. And you know, mass of the what we say, mass of a nucleon, it's considered to be slightly greater than that of EMU. EMU is 1.66 into 10 to the minus 27. Here we considered it as 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27. That we put 1.67 10 to the minus 27. All together after calculation we get 2.30 into 10 to the power 17 kg per meter cube. 10 to the power 17, remember, 10 to the power 17, here 27 comes, here how much you get? Here you get 40, around 45, minus 45, then 45 and 17. If you just, sorry, 27, if you just subtract, how much you get? Here you get 8 and here you get 1. Okay, that means minus 8, plus 18 will there, but here it is 1.67 only, and here we have larger number 4, 3.14 plus 1.2 into 1.2 into 1.2, all the thing together. Therefore we must take only up to 10 to the power 17 plus 17, and rest of the thing is like this, 2.3 into 10 to the power 17 kg per मीटर क्यूब. इतने ज़्यादा डेंसिटी होता है, आप समझ सकते हैं कि एक मीटर क्यूब में 10 to the power 17 kg आपका न्यूक्लियंस का पोर्शन रहता है. तो इट इज सच अ बिग थिंग. Although nucleus itself is very small, and that is why it is called so massive. You can just see its density is so huge, and that is why we call the term nucleus as very massive part of the atom. Massive does not mean very large in size, but it definitely has very strong, and that is why, you know, when we discuss in next phase the nuclear force, it is a short range but very strong force. Nuclear force, electrostatic force and gravitational force, when we study all the three forces together, we can see nuclear force is the strongest one, and due to the strongest bond the nucleons have, and despite the fact that proton and proton repel each other, but the strong bond between the nucleons, and that is the main responsible thing to bind them, and that has a very strong, that makes it so strong and massive, and you can very easily see how strong its density is. Okay, in that way we have completed today's lecture. In the next phase, in the next lecture, we will definitely discuss the details about the nuclear forces, its nature, its characteristics, and also we will just try to see that how we can correlate it with finding out the nuclear energy. Thank you.